Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Talknology. No time for cringy intros.
But always time for cringy hosts.
So this is Anathan.
And Amurtha.
Let's get started.
So for the first big news of the week, we have Samsung following on the footsteps of Apple yet again. So guys, as most of you already know, the iPhone 12 doesn't come with a charger in the box, doesn't come with earphones either. And well, looks like the Samsung Galaxy S21 or S30, whatever it's going to be called, well, it's not gonna have either of those in the box either. Now with Apple, I wasn't that surprised, and
Apple likes taking things away from the customers.
yes, and more importantly, I mean, like, okay, we have ripped on Apple for multiple times because of this, but then their charges are like what, 5 watts, 10 watts, and the earphones, they aren't great either, right?
Yeah.
But then Samsung, they offer 25 watt fast chargers and AKG earphones, which are actually pretty good for the money, right? Like, so, and
like it's very hard to find a Type-C AKG, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to find them, and more importantly, guys, okay, this is not like a Redmi or a Realme phone. This is not a 15,000 rupee, 10,000 rupee phone. It's gonna cost way over 70 grand.
Yeah.
So I don't really support this. I mean, I don't know if anyone likes this.
Yeah.
Thinks this is a good move. If you do let us know in the comments why. But
yeah, the thing is, Apple can afford to do that because they only launch a few phones in a year.
Yeah.
But with Samsung, it's like they launch at least like 10-20 phones a year, right?
Exactly.
And even with companies like Redmi and Realme giving like 65 watt chargers at like a price point like 15K, this is not a great move, at least in India, right?
Yeah, at least in India, it's not a great move. And more importantly, it's like what Apple said is, if you have been in the Apple ecosystem for a long time, you'd already have the chargers, right? But then in the Android ecosystem, it's not like chargers. Like last year, we had what? 27 watt, 30 watt chargers. Now this time flagships are coming with 65 watt chargers.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Apple ecosystem where the chargers have stayed stagnant. So either Samsung has to give up on fast charging, so they'll be stuck with either 25 watts, or they would increase the charger capacity, go for like a 50 watt or a 65 watt charger, but then we would have to buy it separately.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, either way, it's not a great move.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next news.
Redmi is refreshing their K30 series with the K30S, and this time it's basically a rebranded Mi 10. So this one launched in China, and it comes with the Snapdragon 865 with 144Hz screen, 64 megapixel camera, LCD screen. So it's basically a Mi 10T. So Amartha, why do you think Redmi is going this move? Like,
basically, at this point, Redmi has realized, okay, so how did Samsung become the number 2 smartphone brand in the world? Produce a lot of phones, chuck them at the wall, see what sticks. Redmi is like, okay, Samsung, we got you. Follow the same strategy. Make a bunch of phones. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Right now we have the K30, we have the K30 Pro, we have the K30 Pro Zoom, we have the K30 Ultra
that we just reviewed, right?
Yeah, we have the K30S. Like, it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting like, the thing is, the customers won't mind releasing multiple phones in here. But with Redmi, it's like they'll do R&D for one phone, and after a while, they'll launch it under Xiaomi, they'll launch it under Redmi, they'll launch it under Poco.
Yeah.
So, like, technically the customers would get confused, right?
Even then, I feel like, if you take a look at the, let's take the K30 out of it, the K30 Ultra, the Pro Zoom, the Pro, and now the K30S. It basically seems like you have a set number of combinations, and like Redmi is just, okay, so if we take these two and subtract this, okay, here's a new phone.
Yeah.
And I don't kind of like, it seems just like launching phones for the sake of launching. I mean, I get what Redmi is trying to do here. They're trying to stay relevant. They're trying to stay in the news by launching new phones. But it kind of somewhere comes off as pathetic, actually.
Yeah, like according to our sources, why Redmi is going this move is like, compared to Xiaomi, like in India, Redmi has a bigger brand recognition compared to Xiaomi.
Yeah.
So if they launched the Mi 10T, the Mi 10 was not a big success, as we all know. So if they launched the Mi 10T under a Redmi brand, like a very popular K30 brand, it might sell better. Like how it went with the Redmi Note 9 Pro, you get it.
Yeah.
Even Poco, people prefer Poco more than Redmi nowadays. So
Yeah, so but then my question would be, yes, more people recognize Redmi, but is it for good reasons? Or is it just because Redmi means ads? Stay away.
it depends upon people. Like I've seen people, like I have met people who prefer MIUI, even if it has ads. Like me personally, coming from a MIUI device, I personally miss certain small little quirks and all. Right.
By the way, what are you using right now?
I am obviously using the LG G8X. Yes, I'm a flappy boy now. It
And-
hurts to have two screens. And the guy who asked me the question, he is also using a LG G8X. So basically, everyone in office bought an LG G8X under the flash sale, or like they
Yeah.
bought it under OLX, right?
Yeah.
So we still see a lot of OLX phones, like the G8X brand new sealed units on OLX for like 23-24K, and still it's a good deal, right?
It's still a good deal, actually. And by the way, guys, we made an Instagram reel out of it, our very first reel. So if you haven't by any chance watched it yet,
Yeah, go follow us on Instagram at C4A
yeah,
It's a nice reel. We didn't put much of an effort in, but it's cool to watch, right?
it's cool.
On to the next news.
Yep. So what we have here is basically XDA has released a new phone. Okay, technically this is not a new phone. We have seen this phone being released way back in 2019. But what's new is the software portion. At least that's what XDA is bringing to the table. So what we have here is out of the box, this is going to be the first phone in the world to support Lineage OS. So
Out of the box, yeah.
Yeah, out of the box. And what is Lineage OS? So a lot of you who probably haven't kept up with the custom ROM scene in the last few years, I am sure most of you at some point have heard of CyanogenMod. So CyanogenMod, they kind of disbanded, the company disbanded, and they went open source. They went back to their roots, went back to open source, and that's where Lineage OS comes. And now this is the first official device to receive Lineage OS, so we can actually expect a lot of good things, right? Like fast security updates, fast Android updates.
So unlike other smartphones, this one supports 3 OSs. So we have Lineage OS, we have Ubuntu Touch, and of course we have Android. But with this launch, what XDA is pushing is 3 main things. One is software, obviously, and it's privacy things.
Yeah.
And obviously, the thing is, what they are saying is the design and all with the new generation smartphones are very dated or something like. And what they have come up with is a physical keyboard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of see the point and kind of don't see the point. Like
As much as the physical backlit keyboard is cool,
Yeah.
it is not practical, right? It will take a lot of battery life, it will take a lot of real estate from the phone, right?
Yeah, it will make the phone thicker. And honestly, guys, like, you know,
And they are trying very hard to hide the battery percentage, like how much mAh the battery is and all.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard to find. And when we come to specs and all, it's pretty much dated as it was launched on 2019, and it's an Indiegogo campaign. So it comes with the Snapdragon 835 and like 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB storage.
I think it also has a full HD plus OLED screen. It's a
Yeah.
pretty big screen, actually. I mean, guys, I like the form factor here. I like that, you know, you can hold it in landscapes, slide it out, type on the keyboard. Kind of reminds me of my BlackBerry days. But then there's a reason I switched away from BlackBerry. I don't want to go back. And I don't know if you guys would. Like, okay, I am a keyboard aficionado. I love keyboards. I own multiple mechanical keyboards.
Yeah, I can
But
vouch for that.
I don't want a keyboard. I don't want a physical keyboard on my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope XDA all the
and
success, but I don't
With all
think-
this dated hardware,
Yeah.
they are asking like a $699 price, and I don't think with all the Onepluses and all the other smartphone flagship
Yes.
killers there, I don't think this is a good thing. But if you like Lineage OS and you want it out of the box, I think.
I mean, I guess this is more of support the developers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone buying this phone is actually, looking to use it as their like personal primary device. Because if you are, then just install Lineage OS on your, whatever phone you have. Like, get an S20 or whatever phone you like and install Lineage OS on it. It doesn't need specific hardware. I am hoping there's no specific hardware-based optimizations.
For most of the top-tier brands, Lineage OS supports like the latest software. As of now, it is Lineage OS 17. So you can expect Lineage OS 17 if you have a top-tier phone like a OnePlus or like a S20 kind of a thing. And I actually prefer, as an early adopter of the Cyanogen mode, I really like the OS.
Yeah.
It was at one point it was better than Android, right?
Yeah, at one point, I think they had the custom launcher known as Trebuchet.
Yeah.
And Trebuchet was like really, really good. I really loved it.
Like for that time, it'll still look modern.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Trebuchet.
Anyway.
iPhone 12 pre-orders are live and let's talk about the pricings. Amarto?
Well, as we kind of expect here in India, they are really, really high.
As you can see the frustration in Amarto's face, as in he thought it would be like 1 kidney worth of iPhone, but now it's like 2 kidney worth of iPhone.
Exactly.
So let's start with the big boys, right? So the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it starts at 1.29 lakhs and it goes up to 1.6 lakhs.
Yeah. Wow.
What do you think?
I'm just thinking who in the office is disposable enough that I can get a second kidney from them.
So jokes apart, the iPhone 12 Pro starts at 1.19 lakhs, that's for the 128GB variant, and the top variant, which is 512GB, is 1.49 lakhs. And as with the iPhone 12, it starts at 79k and goes up to 94k for the 256GB variant. And the small iPhone, that's the iPhone mini, it starts at 69k, nice, and goes up to 84k, which is for the 256GB variant. So what do you think is the pricing? If someone is like adamant enough to buy an iPhone, like the newer variant iPhone, which one do you think we should go for?
See, I don't see any reason in going for the 12 mini, honestly.
Because we have tested the SC and we know how the battery life is.
Yeah, the battery life sucks. So let's just, if you have to get an iPhone, go for the 12.
Yeah.
I think the 12 is a nice middle ground because, yes, the 12 Pro has an extra camera. The 12 Pro Max has the camera with the new stabilized lens as well. But honestly, I mean, don't take our word, take Marcus's word. Watch his review. Okay, so the 12, his review on the 12 Pro Max isn't out yet. But then yes, watch it when it comes out because I'm sure what he will say is that cameras have kind of stagnated in the Pixel world as well as in the iPhone world, right?
And to be fair, if you compare all the iPhones like the Mini to the SE and everything else, only the iPhone 12 makes a good upgrade, right?
Yeah.
It switched from the LCD screen, which was bad, and judging by the battery life, it will be good with an AMOLED screen, right?
Yeah, and it also includes MagSafe, which honestly to me is like, the standout feature for this year's iPhone. Like, yes, okay, the others are good, like, but then Android has had some variation of them for ages, right? There was nothing absolutely new other than MagSafe. Okay, MagSafe isn't new, but like
it is cool, right?
It's cool. The implementation it's very Apple. It's very well done.
Yeah, and I am pretty sure all the companies will
try to rip it off.
Yeah, but I don't care. Basically, MagSafe is a good concept, to be honest. On to the next news.
Yep. Talking about prices, LG overconfident on selling 1.75 lakh G8 XS at 22,000 or 20,000 rupees has decided their next phone should be priced at
70k.
Yeah, that's excellent logic, right? Because hey, this isn't a flagship. There's no the chip inside is a Snapdragon 675. And well, the only thing that differentiates it from other phones out there, from the OnePlus Nods and this LG, even the LG Velvet, is basically the flip screen of the wing.
Yeah.
And no doubt, guys, that's cool. Like
the swirl screen is cool, but
swirl screen is
it's
really
kind of a novelty phone. But that's why you cannot like. You can argue that it's a novelty phone, so you have to price it like it's a new technology, right?
I mean, kind of. I mean, I guess swiveling screens, no one thought of it.
Yeah.
But then the reason no one thought of it is because it's not really that useful.
To be fair, LG came up with some useful features, and I'm not saying it is like mind blowing or anything, but you can make good use of it.
But then here's my question: would you rather have a second screen or a swivel screen?
The thing is, with the G8X or the Galaxy Z Fold, I'm putting them on the same category because you're unfolding it to make it a bigger form factor, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, you are always forced to use the phone in that form factor. With the Z Fold, you can use it with the smaller screen, but this, even if you don't swivel it out, it's a good phone. Like you can use it as a normal phone for a long time unless you need the other screen. It is never like interrupting you, right?
But then here's my counter argument to it. It's thicker than other phones already.
Yeah.
So basically you are carrying that extra added heft, but you're not getting a screen out of it. And if you're getting a screen out of it, when you swivel it out, it's like, I don't know, a weird landscape screen. And like, I just don't see the use cases for it, honestly, guys. Like,
you can play Asphalt 9.
I don't play games on mobile. I mean, I would like to identify myself as a gamer, but then I don't know, guys. Mobile games, not really my thing.
At this point, I'm just trying to be devil's advocate, guys. So
yeah, but anyway,
see. But I don't think it's overpriced, to be honest.
It's not overpriced. It's just I wouldn't suggest that you guys go ahead and buy one.
Yeah, wait for like 1 year and Flipkart next year.
Yes.
Flipkart will be big billion day. We can all buy it for like 20-25K.
Yeah, definitely.
On to the next news.
Okay, no. Before we go to the next news, though, what was the LG Velvet's pricing?
LG Velvet starts at 39,990.
Okay, that's. I mean, if you like the design of the Velvet, it's kind of different. It's not, it doesn't bring anything new to the table like the Wing does, but at 39,990, I don't know, maybe worth a shot. Moving on to the next news, we have another new player in the cloud gaming scene, and surprise, surprise, it's Facebook. Okay, guys, the thing here is, till now, cloud gaming has come from companies like Nvidia, who have had GeForce Now, Google, who have had Stadia, and Microsoft with their Xbox Pass service, right? And all of them have actually offered AAA titles. What Facebook right now is offering is Asphalt 9. I don't know why you would want to play Asphalt 9 from the cloud. I mean, are there, are any of you guys, do any of you guys have phones that isn't powerful enough to play Asphalt 9, but you're willing to pay, I don't know, some few dollars a month to get the ability to stream Asphalt 9 to your phone? Does that make any sense? It doesn't to me. But then, hey, Facebook, what they claim is they want to start with single player games that are latency friendly. So yeah, they do accept that, like Stadia and every other service out there, they are gonna have some hiccups when it comes to latency, but that's why they are probably starting with lower tier mobile games. But anyway, let's see where it goes.
They are not pushing it like it's a competitor for Stadia or Game Pass, but they are pushing it because they are Facebook. They see a feature, they'll try to implement it, and if it works, it's chase. If it doesn't work, it's chase.
I get it, but it's guys, it kind of feels like to me, it's like, hey, you know how even your old potato PC could run Farmville?
Yeah.
Well, now Farmville is on the cloud.
Yeah. To be fair,
and it knows your data, and it knows what shampoo you use.
Okay, to be fair, if you consider Farmville as a cloud gaming, Facebook was way into cloud gaming before Google or Nvidia, right?
Yeah.
Cityville, Farmville, like Mafia, everything was cloud technically. You don't have to install anything on your PC, right?
Exactly.
So Facebook was the early adopters, and now Google is just ripping off of Facebook. How sad. Right?
That's the alternate reality we live in.
Again, I am the devil's advocate here, and Amartho is just spitting facts. Okay.
Moving on to the next news.
In other news, OnePlus Watch is not cancelled, it's just postponed. So you guys might see the OnePlus 9 before the OnePlus Watch, and so I think it's gonna launch next year, like late next year. I think it's a good step on OnePlus if
Yeah, I mean,
you don't
they're
have a good product.
diversifying their portfolio so much with so many phones.
because the OnePlus buds, they were like not very popular.
Yeah,
Like the
nah.
OnePlus Wireless Z, they sold like hotcakes, right?
That was a good product. Like, that's the thing, right? OnePlus, their philosophy used to be few products, but really, really great products.
Yeah.
Right now, the N10, N100, the OnePlus Buds, the OnePlus Watch, it just seems like they have kind of lost their way once Carl Pei has left the company.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the diversification has anything to do with him leaving the company.
Yeah.
But I just... Okay, I'll put it, I'll call it speed. I don't like the new OnePlus.
Yeah.
Moving away from phones and other conventional tech for a little bit, we have another new player in the electronic vehicle scene. Okay, I said vehicle and not cars because this is an electronic bike. And it's coming from the Harley-Davidson stable. So yeah, Harley-Davidson, very, very, very well known for their luxury tourers. Now they're coming up with a bike. Okay, so it's not like we haven't seen electronic bikes from Harley before. We have seen them.
But they were concepts, right?
They were concepts and they looked and felt more like a Harley that had been modded into an electric bike than,
Yeah, it was basically them mocking the electric scene, right?
Kind of. Like they had huge motors and batteries. It just didn't look like, what you expect from an electric bike.
Yeah.
Like I expect it to be like sleek and all that. Well, that design, it's coming very soon. I mean, by very soon, I mean next year actually. Yeah. So they're spinning off into a sister company called Serial One Cycles.
Yeah.
And their first product is gonna be the Serial One Cycle, which is again based on the Serial number 1, the oldest Harley ever. And it's has a lot of design cues, like you can see it from the leather seat on the cycle itself and the overall design of the arches. It looks nice, I won't deny that.
Yeah.
But then we don't know a lot about the specs, and since it's a Harley, I'd expect it to be, priced at the higher range, probably like 10,000 US dollars.
We're expecting close to 10,000 USD for this cycle.
Yeah.
And I think it's also gonna be a novelty item, as in I don't think anyone practical would buy a Harley e-bike, right?
Exactly.
Like e-bikes are generally for last mile transport, so I don't think people would buy it for the luxury of it, because e-bikes need to be easy to carry. Like if you're getting into a metro or something, e-bikes should be easy to carry. And judging by the looks, I don't think it's an easy to carry bike. It has like chunky tires and everything.
Yes.
So I'm guessing they are just launching it for like the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they are putting that much serious effort into it.
Okay, I won't say they're not putting effort into it. Maybe, they're developing the R&D and the design here.
Like they don't want it to be like a commercialized product, as in they don't want most people to own it.
Yeah.
It's like a Supreme t-shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here is my question. Would you consider buying a Harley e-bike, not the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might consider buying a Harley, but as long as it's like a fat boy. Not buying an e-bike from them. But then honestly, I would like a Tesla Model 3. Please, Elon Musk.
If you're watching
Tesla
this,
Model 3 here in India, we need it.
Okay, begging to Elon Musk later, let's move on to the next news. The Oppo Reno 5 or the Find X3 is gonna launch soon, and it's gonna spot the latest Snapdragon flagship chipset. Yes, we are talking about the Snapdragon 870, and it's gonna be the most powerful Snapdragon chipset yet. Amato, what are your thoughts?
Well, actually, the 870 isn't being ported as, the best Snapdragon chipset. I mean, yes, it's going to be more powerful than the 865, at least that's what we hope.
Yeah.
But there is going to be an 875, guys. Okay. This 870 is like the light version of the 875.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of like imagine the 808 versus the 810.
Oh, okay.
What I am expecting is the leaks point towards either the Find X3 having it on the Reno 5. Now guys, in recent years, at least in the last couple of years, we have seen the Reno series not having the best internals, kind of have middle of the range internals. So I guess the 870 could be a part of that. I mean, at this point, we don't really know how powerful the 870 is, right?
Yeah, we don't even know if it's a 5 nanometer or a 7 nanometer, right?
Yeah, we have no idea about any of it. But then if it's strong enough, if it's powerful enough rather, then we should see it in a bunch of more devices. Oppo claims they should, I mean, this leaked news claims that Oppo should be the first, but hey, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the next news.
You guys have all seen the PlayStation 5 news and the PlayStation DualSense controller, which looks super cool to be honest.
Yeah.
And the news is it's gonna support Android out of the box. So you guys can connect your PlayStation DualSense controller to your Android phone and play games with it. What do you think about it, Amato?
I actually kind of like it because, you know, most Android controllers, they don't have a touchpad. So you can't really control the UI of it as well. But then now that you have a touchpad here, you can actually keep your phone away from somewhere, even if you're like, I don't know, maybe connect your phone to your TV and you're, you know, streaming to it and you have your Bluetooth controller connected. You can play games like that. It's a nice news.
So wrapping up with the Chrome OS news, Chrome OS is finally got to support dark mode. So I know most of you guys are not using Chrome OS, but it's a good OS, right? It is like for not for productivity per se, but for like general browsing.
Educational purposes. A lot of, you know, schools use Chrome OS. So basically, guys, if you are not in the beta build but the canary build of the Chrome OS, you can now try out dark mode. Google obviously wants going to a canary build. That means you might face some bugs, some few issues. So only do this if, you know, you're really craving for dark mode. But then what we are really craving for is some milkshakes. So that's where we'll end this episode of Talknology. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers.